Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Dr. Hadiza Kere Abdulrahman. I'm recording this video because I've been asked by several people how to go about adopting an Almajiri school. So today I'm going to talk to you about some of the steps that I took when I started working with the school that I work with. So this is how to go about adopting an Almajiri school using the R.E.R approach that I came up with. The R.E.R approach stands for respect, engage, reform. I feel like these are really critical for whatever group that you're going to work with. Like, start on a premise of respect. When you are working with people considered vulnerable, it's very important that you respect them. I shouldn't be saying this, but it's important that you respect them. You're not going in as a savior. You're really going in as a servant, or at least to work with them. So start with the premise of respect. Engage with the people, but also engage with the knowledge from within. If you're working with Almajiri, this is an old system that has been in existence for so long. There is so much knowledge contained within. So pay attention and learn. Work with the knowledge from within. At the very least, ask the people the kind of help that they need. This is a good starting point. Then also, if you hopefully do all these things right, then reform would happen, because ultimately that is what we want. That is what has drawn us to the system, right? We can see all the things that we consider not working well, and we want to see change happen in our lifetimes, inshallah. So hopefully then reform happens. I am Muslim, and so all that I do is informed by my Islamic faith. So another thing that I would add is that make sure that your intentions are clear. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why have you come to work with Almajiri? Only you can answer that. But make sure that your intentions are clear. Make sure that you're doing things for the sake of Allah. So for me, it's always fi sabilillah. I want to see change happen, but I also feel like being an active member of my community and being a good Muslim means that I have to care about what happens around me. So make sure that your intentions are clear. The next thing is to identify a school. This is by far one of the most important things. Well, the good thing, or the bad thing, I don't know, however you put it, is that you're never far away from an Almajiri school. So there is one close by that you can choose to work with. Identify one, go and meet the teacher and explain to him, meet the malam and explain to him what you're trying to do. Ask if he's interested in working with you. At this point, I'm going to tell you, please do not overpromise. Do not promise heaven and earth. We all know how difficult and hard Nigeria is at the moment. So don't tell the malam, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Just tell the malam that you're interested in working with him and the children in his care, and if he's okay with that. 9 out of 10, a lot of them would say yes, depending on your approach, right? If you go in arrogantly, a lot of people would not be willing to go work with you for the long term. So you have to be transparent, you have to be humble in your approach, and tell him what you're trying to do. There are a list of things that you can do to start off with. At the very least, you can feed the children. You can take in something. You can even make puff puff at home, or you can make jollof rice. Whatever it is that you can afford to do, you can take food for the children. You can also make care packages. Care packages are good. I find that helps to build relationship. So if you start going every week, every month, whatever it is that you can, and take care packages with you. In my care packages, we tend to put bathing soap, washing soap. We also put toothpaste and toothbrush. We put biscuits, sometimes sweets, pencils, books, whatever it is that will make the children feel that they have something, that will make them feel cared for, right? So these are the things that will make them pay attention to their personal hygiene and well-being. These are the things that you can do. With my school, I was lucky enough to have some money at my disposal. So I went in and I put in toilets, I put in ceilings, I put in fans, I changed the mats. You can just change the mats, the tabarma as we call it, or you can put mattresses if they have the space for that. Very rarely do they have the space for that. So when I asked if they wanted mattresses, I was told that mats are better. So you could also start with numeracy and literacy classes. You could develop a community of like-minded people where you go into the schools, if it's once a week or every weekend, and teach them numeracy and literacy. We have a curriculum that we use that I'm quite happy to share. Another thing that you can do is you can provide them with clothing. You can ask the malam if there are children who have done primary school, completed their primary school, and would want to go back into secondary school. With the permission of their parents, you can help them back into secondary schools and help them with uniforms and bags and books. You can put the older boys into apprenticeship programs. These are all the things that we have done, but we never did everything all at once. So it can be incremental depending on what you can afford at the time. If what you can afford is to go in with care packages, to volunteer for numeracy and literacy classes, then just start with that. If what you can afford is to send 5 boys for apprenticeship programs, then do that as well, right? Another thing that you can do is you can stock up a first aid kit that the malam can keep. You can put in paracetamol, you can put in medicine for diarrhea, you can put in topical creams for eczema. Yes, these are all the things that you can do just to make their lives better. What else have I missed? In Ramadan, it's very easy to raise a lot of money, so you can even be ambitious and feed the children twice a day. That brings us to the crunch or the crux of the matter, the funding. When I started, for the longest time I was self-funding, and then eventually people heard about what I was doing and they were happy and willing to trust me with their money. If you take people's money, then you have to stay transparent and tell them what you've done with the money. And remember, like I said, times are hard, so it may not always be a case that you may have people willing to help you, and this is why you have to keep it humble. But yes, this is all that I can mention for now. What I'll do is I'll write this up, and hopefully if I've missed anything, it will be in the write-up, and I'll do like a little pamphlet that you can all go back to, just a step-by-step, or at least listing the things that you can do to start with. And if you have any ideas as to how to make things better or to do things differently, please write them in the comments, and I'm happy to engage with that. May Allah reward your intentions, and may we have a Nigeria that we all really crave. And yes, thank you very much for listening.